It began as nothing more than an ordinary rehearsal, just an actor and an actress stepping into the skin of two of Shakespeare's most iconic characters. But when a short clip leaked from the rehearsal room of Macbeth, no one could have predicted how quickly the moment would ignite into a worldwide phenomenon. The clip featured Sam Heughan, the globally adored star of Outlander, alongside acclaimed stage veteran Lia Williams in the roles of MCBTH and Lady MCBTH. What shocked audiences wasn't only their ferocious delivery of Shakespeare's lines, but the raw, electrifying kiss they shared in the middle of an otherwise bare rehearsal space. Within hours, the video spread like wildfire across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and countless fan forums. Viewers replayed it endlessly, slowing it down frame by frame, dissecting every glance, every breath, every flicker of tension. The hashtag #YandaSamHughMacBeth began trending worldwide. Even people who had never cared about Shakespeare suddenly found themselves mesmerized by this one. Forbidden kiss. At first glance, the setting seemed almost dull. A stripped-down rehearsal room. No costumes, no lights, no grand stage. Yet that simplicity only heightened the power of the kiss. With no distractions, the focus fell entirely on the two performers, their bodies, their voices, their undeniable chemistry. Sam, embodying the tortured ambition of MCBTH, leaned toward Lia, whose Lady MCBTH radiated both seduction and menace. The kiss was not gentle. It was fierce, desperate, dangerous, charged with lust, ambition, and manipulation. For a few fleeting seconds, the rehearsal space transformed into a battlefield of desire and power, where love became indistinguishable from ruin. For Sam's fans, the moment was both thrilling and shocking. They were used to seeing him as Jaime Fraser, the noble, tender Highland warrior whose eternal love for Claire had defined an entire era of television romance. But here, Sam was someone else entirely. His MCBTH was darker, hungrier, locked in a toxic partnership with Lady MCBTH. The kiss was not about love. It was about control, complicity, and the sealing of a fatal pact. "I can't believe this is the same Sam from Outlander," one fan tweeted. "H is unrecognizable and incredible." Others flooded comment sections with fire emojis, swooning gifts, and endless speculation about what the full production might unleash. What made the clip explode online was not only its intensity, but its sheer unpredictability. Audiences are used to behind-the-scenes footage from films or TV shows, but rarely do they get to witness raw, unpolished rehearsal footage from a Shakespearean tragedy. There was something mesmerizing in its naked authenticity. No lights, no makeup, no staging, only two actors bearing everything through performance. And of course, the fact that Sam Heughan stood at its center only magnified its reach. Within a single day, the kiss had gone beyond fan forums and gossip sites, landing in mainstream news outlets around the world. For many, it was their first real glimpse of Sam as MCBTH. Anticipation for the production had already been high since the casting announcement, but the viral clip gave audiences something visceral, something unforgettable. Suddenly, Macbeth wasn't just another Shakespeare revival. It had become the theatrical event of the season. The kiss also sparked broader conversations about Sam's evolution as an actor. For years, he had been synonymous with Jaime Fraser. Beloved as he was, many wondered if he could ever escape that role's shadow. And with this single rehearsal clip, he seemed to answer that question boldly. Here was not Jaime, the romantic hero, but MCBTH, a man consumed by ambition, seduced by power, and dragged into moral corruption. "This isn't Jaime kissing Claire," another fan wrote. "This is MCBTH, and it's terrifying and brilliant." Much of the clip's impact lay in the dynamic between Sam and Lia Williams. Lia, with decades of stage experience, brought Lady MCBTH to life with a balance of allure and ruthlessness. She matched Sam's intensity beat for beat, making the kiss feel less like a gesture of passion and more like a collision of wills. If Sam's MCBTH embodied raw ambition, Lia's Lady MCBTH was the force behind it, the spark that both fuels and destroys him. For audiences, their chemistry elevated the anticipation. This wasn't just about Sam performing Shakespeare. It was about witnessing two powerhouse actors colliding in one of literature's most infamous partnerships. The fallout was immediate. Outlander fans, many of whom admitted they had never set foot in a Shakespeare theatre, declared they would buy tickets just to witness this darker side of their favorite star. Critics, meanwhile, hailed the clip as proof of Sam's versatility. Theatre blogs speculated that if the production carried the same intensity, Sam could cement himself as a stage force, not just a television celebrity. For Sam, the kiss was more than just a moment of publicity. It was a declaration, intentional or not, that he was unafraid to take risks, to shock, to challenge the image audiences held of him. MCBTH is not a safe role. It demands stamina, vulnerability, ferocity. And in those few seconds of leaked footage, Sam proved he was willing to give everything. Now, with the production still ahead, the buzz has reached fever pitch. Tickets are expected to sell out, fueled not only by Shakespeare devotees, but by legions of Outlander fans eager to see Sam like they've never seen him before. What began as an accidental leak has become the defining preview of the show. That kiss is no longer just a rehearsal note. It is a promise of danger, intensity, and passion. And when the curtain finally rises, audiences may not see Sam Heughan the heartthrob or Sam Heughan the celebrity, but Sam Heughan the actor fearlessly stepping into Shakespeare's darkest chaos. Yet one question still lingers. Was this kiss just a spark of rehearsal energy or the beginning of a performance so powerful it could redefine Sam's career? One thing is certain, when MCBTH and Lady MCBTH sealed their bond with that kiss, they set themselves on the path to destruction. And as the world waits for opening night, fans cannot help but wonder, could this daring role mark the beginning of Sam Heughan's next great chapter? But perhaps that is the true magic of this viral moment. It isn't only about a kiss or even about MCBTH. It's about an actor standing on the edge of transformation, ready to risk everything for his craft. As the curtain has yet to rise, one can only imagine what storms Sam Heughan will unleash when MCBTH finally steps onto the stage. Will this role be remembered as a daring detour or as the turning point that forever redefined his career? For now, all the world can do is wait, breathless, curious, and utterly captivated to see where this next chapter leads. It began as nothing more than an ordinary rehearsal, just an actor and an actress stepping into the skin of two of Shakespeare's most iconic characters. But when a short clip leaked from the rehearsal room of Macbeth, no one could have predicted how quickly the moment would ignite into a worldwide phenomenon. The footage showed Sam Heughan, the globally adored star of Outlander, alongside acclaimed stage veteran Lia Williams as Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. What shocked audiences wasn't only their ferocious command of Shakespeare's words, it was the raw, electrifying kiss they shared in the middle of that bare, unadorned space. Within hours, the video spread like wildfire across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and countless fan forums. Viewers replayed it endlessly, slowing it down frame by frame, dissecting every glance, every breath, every flicker of tension. The hashtag Heughan Macbeth began trending worldwide. Even people who had never cared about Shakespeare found themselves hypnotized by this one forbidden kiss. At first glance, the setting seemed dull, a stripped-down rehearsal room, no costumes, no lights, no grandeur. Yet that very simplicity amplified its power. With no distractions, the focus fell entirely on the two performers, their bodies, their voices, their undeniable chemistry. Sam, embodying Macbeth's tortured ambition, leaned toward Lia, whose Lady Macbeth radiated seduction and danger. The kiss was not tender, it was fierce, desperate, and volatile, charged with lust, ambition, and the dark thrill of complicity. For a fleeting moment, the rehearsal room became a battlefield of desire and ruin. For Sam's fans, it was both thrilling and unsettling. They were used to seeing him as Jamie Fraser, the noble Highlander whose love defined an era of television romance. But this was something else entirely. His Macbeth was darker, hungrier, trapped in a web of corruption spun with his partner's touch. "I can't believe this is the same Sam from Outlander," one fan tweeted. "He's unrecognizable, and brilliant." The internet filled with fire emojis, swooning gifs, and feverish speculation about what the full production might bring. What made the clip explode wasn't just its intensity, but its rawness. Behind-the-scenes footage from films or shows is common, But rarely do audiences glimpse such unpolished authenticity. No lighting, no makeup, only two actors revealing everything through performance. And at the center stood Sam Heughan. Within a single day, the clip jumped from fan pages to mainstream news outlets. For many, it was their first real glimpse of Sam as Macbeth, and they couldn't look away. The anticipation for the production had already been high, but the viral moment made it seismic. Suddenly, Macbeth wasn't just another Shakespeare revival, it had become the theatrical event of the season. Critics began calling the clip a masterclass in chemistry and a taste of danger. Meanwhile, fans who'd never seen a Shakespeare play vowed to buy tickets. The stage, it seemed, was no longer reserved for the theater elite, it now belonged to everyone waiting to witness this transformation. The kiss also reignited debate about Sam's evolution as an actor. For years, he had been defined by Outlander, his face synonymous with romance and honor. Many wondered if he could ever escape Jamie Fraser's shadow. With one viral rehearsal, he seemed to answer that question. This wasn't Jamie kissing Claire. This was Macbeth sealing his fate. Dark, terrifying, magnificent. Lia Williams, a veteran of the stage, matched him beat for beat. Her Lady Macbeth wasn't simply a temptress, she was a strategist, a mirror to his soul. Together, they created a moment that felt both dangerous and divine, leaving the audience unsure whether they had witnessed art or alchemy. Critics called it a collision of wills disguised as a kiss. Fans called it unforgettable. Soon, theaters were overwhelmed with ticket requests. Rumors swirled that the production would move to the West End, maybe even Broadway. And yet, amid the frenzy, both Sam and Lia remained silent. No interviews, no clarifications, no comments on the viral video. The silence only deepened the mystery. For Sam, the kiss was more than a headline, it was a statement. A declaration that he was done playing safe, done living in expectation. Macbeth demands more than talent, it demands surrender. And in those few leaked seconds, Sam proved he was ready to lose himself completely in the storm of Shakespeare's tragedy. Now, with opening night approaching, the buzz has reached fever pitch. Tickets vanish within minutes. Fans whisper theories about how far Sam and Lia will go when the curtain finally rises. The kiss that began as an accident has become a promise of danger, power, and transformation. Yet one question lingers in the air like smoke from a battlefield. Was that kiss merely a spark of rehearsal energy, or the start of something even more explosive, on stage and off? As the world waits, breath held and hearts racing, only one certainty remains. When Sam Heughan finally steps into Macbeth's shadow, the line between performance and passion may blur forever. And perhaps, when the curtain falls, it won't be only Macbeth's fate that has changed, but his own.